What is going on, everybody? TWAB Day, Thursday. One more day till Friday. I'm gonna give another weekend of trials. Hopefully better than last weekend because last weekend's rewards sucked. But it was still an overall good number. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday. About to get started with this TWAB. It is out right on time today. I'm joined with me as always is my buddy Iron Man. He was playing with me just prior to this going live, so we've kind of just been in the same party. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Crucible Coliseum, and welcome to Thursday. These TWAB reads, these become a nice popular thing that we've started to do here. So it is out right away, so we won't waste any time. We're actually gonna just jump right on into it, and I kind of had a feeling it was gonna be Guardian Games themed. Alrighty. Move this over a little bit for y'all. All right. Again, glad everyone's here. Hope everyone doesn't have their hopes too high for this, but hey. And maybe we'll get something sandbox like we did last week, and they said they were going to be rolling out those new additions to the sandbox through these weeks leading up to the next season. So we won't waste any more time. This week at Bungie, we warm up. Spring is here and competition is in the air. The second annual Guardian Games are kicking off on 4/20. The theme of the event returns, pitting the classes against each other in a friendly competition to showcase their skills in combat. Last year, Titans dominated the field for nearly the entire event. I would say the entire event. Can Warlocks or Hunters bounce back and dethrone those gargantuan punching machines? Time will tell. If you are new to Guardian Games or need a quick refresher, this article is a great place to start. In today's talk, we'll get into some of the changes of this year's event. But before we do, let's check out the hype reel. That's okay. Last year, we received a lot of feedback on how the overall scoring worked. You can read through this post for a refresher, but the TLDR is we had class-specific score weighting to account for the difference in class population. We did this to make sure that hunters didn't have a huge advantage because of, well, how many hunters there are. This year, we won't be doing any initial weighting on the scoring. Everyone's point will count the same at the start. How the scoring will work this year. Medals, they have a very weird way of just like going into the next turn. Medals have the following values: bronze 1 point, silver 2, gold 5, platinum 15. So there's another tier this time. We still have to account for different class populations. So this year, the class that comes in third place each day gets a permanent 10% bonus on scoring going forward. I guess that kind of helps sustain Warlocks from preventing getting second place literally every single day. But I don't. I'll be honest with you folks. I don't have any sort of hope or excitement for this event. I don't. It was a fiasco last season or last year, and it's gonna maintain a fiasco in my opinion. I don't think this change is gonna do anything because people don't really care. People don't really care. Seth, I don't know if you have anything to say in comparison to what you thought. I don't know if you have anything to add in and what you thought the Guardian Games was just like this year compared to last. Seth.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know if you thought if you have any sort of excitement or hope going into the Guardian Games this year as you did last year.
I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a laughing stock last year, as we all remember.
Yeah,
so.
I guess adding the 10% permanent bonus on scoring going forward for the team that comes in third place every day ensures some competition. But like this is, I don't know.
Oh, they added that?
Yeah.
I just am now hearing you.
Yeah, I had myself unmuted in the party. That's
okay.
my bad.
Okay.
They said, we've tested the new scoring system using last year's data and a few other data sets, and it seems to provide a more competitive Guardian Games where we see different classes winning throughout the event. Hunters will likely win early on because of their population advantage, but as the bonuses kick in, the competition should tighten up quickly. They said this last year. The Hunters took the first day, and then everyone basically memed and picked Titan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one way to try and balance it. I guess if you're giving the bonuses to whoever's in third place, but
Yeah.
Guardian Games is a cute idea, but I mean, what are we really getting for it? A tiny little statue next to Zavala?
Especially after we found out what it was this year. I don't think anyone is looking for it. Being something to be excited about. If you guys are interested or you want to throw your hat into the ring and tell me what you liking about this TWAB after we get through it, we're in the Discord. We're in the Crucible Coliseum live channel. If you don't have access to that channel quite yet, it's quite okay. Just join one of the other channels and I'll pull you into it. So after we get through this, we're going to do what we did last week and have a discussion overall, just basically about anything that you might have seen in the TWAB. Maybe you just want to ask a question, or maybe you want to just make a statement. That's this is what this day is for and the floor is for. So we'll continue. New Guardian Games playlist. Another new addition to this year's event is the Guardian Games Strike playlist. This is like the standard Vanguard Strike playlist, but will group players together by class. This feeds into the laurel collecting mechanic, where players have a chance at bonus laurels where they can pick up laurels generated by a player of the same class. All right, I don't mind this. Yeah, I think everyone thinks this is a great quality of life change. Probably something that seems as simplistic as they are making it sound now by being less than 3 sentences. Why wasn't this implemented last year? It leads me to ask that question. Like, why wasn't this thought ahead? Why wasn't the 10% bonus thought ahead in terms of the group getting third place? Go ahead.
And here's my thing. The other thing, I guess, with Guardian Games, like, yeah, you want to be like, oh, wow, everybody's doing it. But really, it boils down to just essentially like population, right? Because if you just have that many Titans or that many Hunters, the only way you're going to balance that out is by nerfing and whatnot. But I always thought that the Guardian Games should have been based on how much you play, like how much you invest in that character. So if I'm continuously grinding out strikes, because if I remember right, you don't continue to get bonuses after you've met your requirements for the day. Right?
No, it's basically you're done.
So it's like, okay, cool, I did my part. Like, I don't care about this anymore.
Yeah.
But if there was something where I could
continue.
Yeah, exactly. Like if there was a way to continually grind out and do it, because if I'm going to play Destiny like for 8 hours and all day long to play part of the Guardian Games, I want it to be influential. I want it to mean something.
For sure.
So hopefully they add that, but I really highly doubt they will.
Well, we're only a few paragraphs in, so maybe we got something to add. So, Alfred, thanks for using that Discord command in the chat. That's your command to jump in the Discord, and I will be able to, if you're not a member of this community yet, but you're a member of the SNTR community, you can, or even just someone that's using the LFG, you could be pulled into the Crucible Coliseum live channel, and you could add in your thoughts on today's TWAB when we get to that portion of it. If anybody is waiting at any time to be dragged into this channel, please just let me know in chat, and I will get you dragged over. So modifiers, the new playlist will have a gameplay modifiers added based on the previous day's class standing. Classes will get a beneficial modifier tied to gold, silver, and bronze placement. Gold, health, shields, and recovery are increased. Kinetic weapons deal more damage. Silver, melee abilities recharge faster. Elemental damage increase from guardian sources. More heavy ammo available. Bronze, grenade abilities deal more damage and recharge much faster. Elemental damage increased from guardian sources. I don't know. I guess they did enough testing to put together that most of us are typically using our kinetic weapon the most, so it makes sense for it to be in the gold, it being the most easy thing to do. But I feel like a lot of the reason why classes were able to run away with it last season was because of modifiers that added to skills. More importantly, what they were doing to melee energy with the Titan. And I think I think regardless of where they'll fall on, especially even at the silver and bronze tier, character classes, Titans and Warlocks alike will benefit from those two tiers, whereas I think the Hunter only benefits from gold. I'm using class specific stuff, but a lot of people are bringing up how horrible it was to run Void Hunter last season, and that's immediately what I think about. someone trying to run a void hunter, you got void bounties that day or whatever the hell it may be, and like it took them a week to figure out that we couldn't hurt somebody with a top tree smoke. You know what I mean? It's just
right.
It's I don't know. I feel there's a lot of things that seem like common sense fixes, but at the same time, you're not going to know until you play test it. But they implemented, like, let's go back to this 10% thing. They thought they added this 10% to kind of prevent what Titans did last season. But don't you think that something like that would have been beneficial? Because they went into the pre-existing idea in their minds last Guardian games that the Hunters were going to run away from it, or run away with it. So then why didn't you add that 10% thing when you thought the Hunters were going to run away with it? It took this kind of like meme speak of the community to just dominate with Titans the entire event.
Yeah, it kind of... I don't think they even really know where they're going with this event. I really don't. I think I don't know if they want it to be like the community to have bragging rights, but bragging rights for what? Like, what are we actually achieving with this? It's just kind of a silly event. There's really not much investment in it. I think they got like one or two people trying to consolidate this whole event. Like, that's just how I feel about it.
It would definitely seem like it. They already waxed the Valentine's event, so I don't know why this one didn't live past the chopping block, especially like what a joke it was last season. People made videos of just their reaction to the statue. Like it was one giant ass meme. So I don't know. It's nothing I'm really too. This event is just blah to me. It's something to do, I guess, until the next season. It's glad it's at the very end of the season. So by the time we're done with it, we're like, shit, at least some brand new content we're going to. Mm-hmm. All right, so to continue, there are also negative modifiers added to the playlist to make things a little more challenging for the leaders. The gold classes get 2 modifiers, and the silver classes get 1. Those modifiers are themed around the classes that finish lower on the podium. Titan, bronze, combatant melee attacks deal more damage. I guess. Silver, combatant melee attacks deal significantly more damage. They're just going to run away with it. Hunter, bronze radar is disabled. Silver radar is disabled, and combatants don't flinch when damaged. These. Okay, I understand. This is the stuff that's going to affect you when you're getting meleeed. From the bronze tier into the silver tier. Incoming damage while you're airborne. Increase while you're airborne as a warlock. Gotcha. Silver classes only get the modifier from the bronze class below them. Gold classes get a combination of both silver and bronze. All right, let me finish this. Theoretically, we're going for an experience where the Guardian Game Strike playlist is the venue for players hoping to jockey their class's podium placement, as it will likely be one of the most efficient ways to earn laurels. All right, I'll be 100% real. I don't like negatives. I don't know why they're adding negative modifiers to this junk.
And again, is that just like going to be affected in that playlist, or is that all universal across everything? In
the Strike playlist, because they know that's going to be the playlist where people get their most laurels. Right. Okay. But at the same time, I don't know. What do you guys think in chat? Are you guys down with negative modifiers? As a person who can't stand 12 negative modifiers on a Grandmaster, I definitely don't want all that. It's just, I don't know. I think it's a way they're trying to balance it without having one team just completely just jet away with it. But I still think no matter what they're going to do, people will find some way to meme on it like they did last year. I think we're just going to be waiting for it. DTM says, Bungie hasn't done anything to make bounties better so far this year. I would be surprised if they do anything to fix how lopsided bounties are for this event.
Exactly.
Very good thoughts.
Exactly. And last year, not to cut you off, but just on that same line of thinking, wasn't there like an issue with, and I'm speaking specifically for Warlocks, because I remember there's something with like, the bounties were not very descriptive. Like you had to like kill with a melee ability or something, but it was only working very like partially.
Exactly.
And like, so they were bugged and stuff. So Warlocks were just like, the hell is this? And I mean, it was just weird. There's always like little issues with that. Plus the way they phrase and word things. I don't know.
Yeah, Abe, you're right. It's stupidly easy, those strikes, but like nobody wants to go in there to some negative stuff, like regardless of the event. But hey, maybe it just will be something we'll brush off and we're not even noticing. But
here's my thing to that point again. Why am I doing this? What am I getting from this? Am I getting ascendant shards? Am I getting materials? Like what am I getting for doing this other than just some corny little statue next to Zavala? I don't know.
Man, if it's the same damn statue or anything remotely close in size, like this is just another joke event. It's really hard for me not to become skeptic of this event just because of what we just laughed at the entire. We've been literally laughing about this event for a whole year, and here it is again, and we're pretending it's going to be something different just because of some.
I remember
differences.
During the Almighty event, thinking, "Oh God, please don't destroy the statue."
Right.
That's all I can think about is like, it's just. I get it. It's kind of casual and whatever. It's supposed to be fun, but make it meaningful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
What's going on, everybody that is just jumping in? Really appreciate you going and clicking on this and listening to what we got going on with the TWAB. If you want to be part of this conversation right here and right now, we're going to, as soon as we're done reading this, I'm going to open up the floor to people that are in the Discord in the Crucible Coliseum live channel, and we're going to talk about it. Give us your thoughts. We had a really great discussion last week. We had a bunch of PvP heads in there because we were talking about quick draw, but this is an open floor. This is for anything you want to discuss, TWAB related or even Destiny related, PvE, PvP. I touch all surfaces of it. Iron Man touches all surfaces of it. Like we're part of the conversation.
I'm genuinely curious to hear what like people who maybe play this game for more of the PvE aspect. I want to hear what they have to feel about this. Like,
yeah. Because I'm sure a lot of people think it's a joke, like kind of like us.
Right.
It'd be nice to hear a different output if someone is excited for it, if they are. All right, so metal case. You receive a metal case from Eva. Oh God, I hate having to talk to her. To store your hardware until you're ready to visit the podium in the tower to bank them for your team. Once you have the maximum medals for a certain type in your case, make sure you go turn them in, as any more earned for that type will be lost. Another thing I don't like. Why are you capping us?
Why?
Why are you giving us a chore? Why are you
making me cap it out, then return to the tower, then go back to doing what I was doing? I just don't get it, man.
I'm just not about that. I'm not about that. And I don't know how y'all feel, but going to the tower for a whole nother reason, it's driving me nuts just to reset my valor. Now I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna be overflowing and just not caring at all. All right. Contender card. This year we are introducing a new type to earn a new way to earn points for your team called contender cards. Okay, maybe this will be something different. You will be able to pick these up from Eva in exchange for laurels and can have one active at any given time. Completing objectives and strikes, Crucible, and Gambit will grant a gold medal upon completion. I'm okay. I like this because person like myself, I'm not going to be spending a lot of time in strikes or Gambit, but obviously I see myself in the Crucible. I spend all weekend playing trials. Like now I'm at least feeling like I'm participating in the event.
So it's like a passive trials card that that you've got.
Yeah. Or if you're playing Control all weekend long, or if you're playing Banner all weekend long. It's just now we're getting something. Banner's not going to be around next week, but still, if it was, there's something for you and you feel like you're participating in the event. I can get down with that. There's also a special Platinum Contender card that will focus on completing objectives in Nightfalls, Survival, and Trials. Here we go. This is probably where it's going to affect me the most in terms of where I'm going to be participating at maximum value. These are positives. These are positives.
Good changes.
Yes.
Good changes.
Yes. This would be the only way to earn platinum medals. Completing a platinum card will earn you an all-star status and a special reward at the next podium ceremony. Okay, all right, a little bit of individual recognition. I think that's a positive. I think we are moving in a direction where we're making this a little bit more interesting than it was before. Still have a little bit of salt because of what they're doing this one. Clearly, the things that we just went over with a few negative modifiers, but hey, we're in a right direction with these platinum contender cards. Make sure you complete your platinum contender card before daily reset on Friday if you want to lock in your all-star status for the weekend. Okay, all right. Another thing, like, incentivize us to flex a little bit. I would be down for that. Everyone likes to show off that they, when the Nightfall used to give you that glow, people used to like to flex that. People still flex their trials all the time. It's something to incentivize people to continue playing. What do you got to add on?
I agree. I want to see what this or how this is implemented, but I think it's going to be, that's a plus. That's definitely a plus.
Yeah. Baby steps. Point Blank said it. Baby steps. This is a good baby step. They took a nice big baby walk. So, but long way to go. There's no way we're stopping here. Did anybody really want this to come back? Probably not, Smashville. Probably not. But hey, they are bringing it back for whatever reason they feel like they want to. Podium ceremony. Every weekend, there will be a special ceremony where you will be able to show off a glow from your class item depending on your class's standing that week. Third place receives a bronze glow. Second place receives a silver. First place receives a gold glow. And all-star receives a platinum glow. Really cool. Really cool. Now you feel like as if you went and did something really cool and have a glow on your Guardian, and you're not doing something like Trials. You played a Nightfall. You did Survival.
Now I'm going to have to change up my whole outfit. It's just ridiculous.
Whatever will we do with our cosmetics? Rewards. All right. As with any event, there will be a new loot to grab. At the start of the event, you will get a new class item from Zavala. These are required to participate in the games. Your old class items won't work for this event, even though they still look cool. Super cool, whatever. All right, so we got a bond right here. It looks a little lit up at his right hand, his right hip. Looking nice, and that's the Warlock. That's not bad. Nice vest. It looks like the vest is lit up on it. And then the Hunter looking really nice. The whole hood is lit up. That's really cool. Very cool indeed. Very, very cool indeed. All right. All right. There will be a new exotic sparrow, and you can earn during the event because every Guardian can use a new set of wheels. Okay, maybe not wheels since they hover, but you get the point. It's a cool vehicle that you can drive, fly, drift. Yeah, you can definitely drift them. All right. Not bad, not bad. And then they got this bad boy. Some people didn't get this last year because a lot of people were playing around this time last year. No one gave a shit. Everyone's getting ready, just sitting on their hands waiting for Beyond Light. So now people get their chance to get this meme, really funny, heavy Heir Apparent. Anyway, there will also be new emblems and exotics, emblems and shaders to collect, and Heir Apparent is back for anyone who didn't get it last year. Proud owners of the tanky exotic machine gun now have a new catalyst turn. That's cool. If you want to role play as Valis Tarark, this catalyst will provide even beefier shields for you as you cabal stomp your way through the battlefield. Interesting. Seth, have you tried the Heir Apparent?
Yeah, briefly, when I first got it, but it immediately got broken down. I never used it again.
Did you like the idea of having a shield on it? I think it's really cool.
I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I remember some people used it in PvP, and it was arc specific. So if you did damage that shield with arc, it would react like a PvE mob, and it would damage them, or it would leave them vulnerable.
Word.
So little things like that are kind of cool, but I'm curious to know what the catalyst is going to be. I wonder if that's
he kind of alluded to it in a sentence beforehand. It makes it a beefier shield, but like what's beefier?
What would be really interesting is if it would chain to your teammates.
Word.
Like if you build it up enough and it would chain to your teammates, I think that'd be good.
It would be really cool if this thing was that beefy. Like I'm talking really beefy, where it would change up the Nightfall kind of meta.
For sure. That's what I'm getting at. This
could be an option.
It would be a meta weapon, yeah.
Absolutely. T-Bone, I really appreciate you hitting that join button. You are a warrior, buddy. Welcome to the Coliseum. And you can use that Discord button and jump into the Discord if you don't have access to the members area yet and you want to call in, talk about this. We'll let it happen today. Just join one of the LFGs and I can drag you up into it. If you are a member of SNTR but you're not a member of this, same deal. I could drag you up into this channel. But if you are a member of this channel, jump right in. You just gotta one click away. All right, let's continue. All right, there will also be new Eververse collectibles, including but not limited to a new Universal Ornament armor set at Beyond Lights. Excuse me. All right, new Universal armor set. Sorry, I was carrying on. At Beyond Lights release, we said we would be working to make future Universal Ornament sets more accepting of shaders. New tech allows us to achieve this change more easily, and the GG sets. Guardian Games sets are a great example. Here is a peek at some of the offerings. Not bad. Not bad. I'm liking this all black and gold Titan. I'm not even going to lie. It doesn't look beefy. Warlocks still look like Count Dracula, but you know, or like some Maestro, but the Titans are looking nice there. The hunters still look great, you know, as always. But like, man, as a hunter main, this Titan looks sexy. I like that gold trim on it. And they, like I said, I don't like when the Titans look beefy. When the Titans have enormous shoulder pads, I'm just really like, what is this? What are we looking at here? Very cool, very cool. And new Ghost Shell too. New Ghost Shell. Look at that.
So this is just, these are ornaments, the seasonal ornaments,
yeah,
or event ornaments.
Well, what I'm looking at right now, yeah, is a seasonal ornament.
Okay.
The Titan seasonal ornament looks really,
Gotcha.
really cool, really cool. Water bottle Ghost Shell here, they're real cute, real cute. Better look at the Sparrow. Ship's looking nice. I wouldn't mind seeing a few shaders on that ship. I like how sleek it looks. Not bad with some of these cosmetics. We got another ship, so 2 ships rolling in. We got a tennis ball ghost, not bad. And they got some rewards. If you're really into all them and you really want a fleece, a zip-up fleece, hey, you can get one. Your chance for glory and rewards begins next week, but Guardians can get a preview of the bunch of rewards starting now. Players who earn the Guardian Games Exotic Sparrow can unlock their code to purchase an exclusive Guardian Games track jacket with all 3 class patches. Participate in the final weekend's closing ceremonies at the tower to unlock a purchasable gold pin in commemorating the winning class. Don't want to wait? Silver class pins are available now at the Bungie store while you compete with your fellow Guardians to achieve gold. Bungie Rewards will have a free emblem commemorating the games. Complete a Guardian Games playlist strike during the event to unlock the free reward. There's a look at the emblem. Not bad, kind of making it look like the Olympics. All right. Guardians can now complete the final seasonal challenge week. As part of Bungie Rewards, you can redeem the free Thrill of the Chase emblem as you complete the Master of All Triumph. Did you get that? I know you were really close with all your challenges. So.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know.
You probably like 1 or 2 off, weren't you? What was the only one you're missing?
You're talking about for the season.
The
season?
Challenges, all the weekly challenges.
Oh yeah. I just have to do like some easy ones, kill some enemies with rocket launchers or something. Yeah,
well, I guess this is the final week, so it's
okay.
The emblem is available. If you've been knocking those out, you need some trials on some. Maybe we'll help some people out over the weekend that don't play trials as often. They need a few round wins. Maybe we can work something out this weekend to help y'all out because I know that one can be tricky for some of y'all that don't get to touch the playlist. But you are a completionist. You like to do this, and I have respect for that because my OCD kicks in a lot for shit like this, and so does Iron Man. I know I can contest that he does as well.
I'm stuck doing like Dreaming City stuff because I still haven't like completed all that.
It's annoying, right? It's annoying. All right, let's continue here. Not a bad TWAB, as much as I expected. Future ornaments. Last month we held a vote on which armor ornament set the community would like to see made for Festival of the Lost later this year. That kicked off with a fun Dino vs. Monsters moment, and we want to do something similar for weapon ornaments. Okay, this is going to be cool. It looks like some old ones. We've identified 12 weapons as candidates for your consideration. I really hope the Rat King's in there. I haven't read through the list yet. You can pick up 3 that you would like to see have new ornaments created in the future. We're asking for your suggestions super early in development and plan on completing this early next year. Crimson, Fighting Lion, Graviton Lance, Layman Merciless, Wrist Runner, Skyburner's Oath, Sunshot, Sweet Business, Telesto, Trinity Gal, Vigilance Wing. Really disappointed in getting Rat King in there. But I like that. I think they need to do this stuff more often. Well, obviously within means that they're capable. They're giving us a pretty lengthy date of arrival. So I'd assume doing stuff like this is kind of like backlogging compared to getting ready for expansions, new seasons. So maybe a little bit of extra effort. I think that it involves the community more so, where people feel like, hey, like, I guess they are kind of listening. But click here to take the brief survey and cast your votes. Which weapons will win it out? We know there's a bit of cult following behind Fighting Lion, but then again, we see Layman ornaments requested regularly. We will announce the results and which weapon ornaments we plan to make in a future TWAB. Let me know also what weapon you want to see. I don't know. Out of the ones I named, Seth, which one are you looking at? Maybe Skyburners, maybe?
I'm going to be honest, the one that stood out to me the most. Okay, Risk Runner, from what I remember, has a few already. I don't know if there's a single Graviton Lance ornament. And I love the Graviton Lance, even though it's absolute dog ass. I love that gun. I don't know what it is. It just speaks to my soul. It really does. A Sweet Business ornament would look really cool, like something out of like a Terminator. Terminator, yeah. Exactly. Telesto, I know it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I could go for a Telesto one.
The ornament would probably break the gun, like it's
again.
Yeah. Vigilance Wing, that's a nice gun too. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. What guns? Point Blank says Telesto. Does Layman even have an ornament yet? I'm not sure. I don't really use it that often. I know Sunshot has that red dwarf. It doesn't need another, human says. Yeah. Some people are showing their biases on what they feel about a few of these. Yeah, there is a Graviton Lance ornament, Point Blank says. I think I might have that one, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I do. All right. Let's see what we got going on. Shader shredding. Let's now throw it over to our player support experts with an update on ongoing issues and other important information on the state of the game. Here we go. Proving Grounds Nightfall. Earlier this season, we clarified that Beyond Light in the Season Pass would be required to play the Nightfall version of Proving Grounds. We have since made a change. These requirements. What? We have since made a change these requirements. That doesn't make any sense. All right, we've since made a change to these requirements, and access to the Proving Grounds Nightfall will now require either Beyond Light or the Season of the Chosen Season Pass. Players no longer need both to access the Nightfall. We're working with our teams to update the Season of the Chosen calendar and future calendars to reflect this change. Seems pretty simplistic. Guardian Games known issues. Clearly, they already have some known issues, and they're letting us know. I don't know how I feel about all that. That's really early to have all these kinds of problems, wouldn't you say? Here we go. Let me see what they got. Players must wear their Guardian Games class item to generate laurels and progress any Guardian Games bounties. I mean, wouldn't that be a thing or no? I thought that's how that was already a part of it to participate. I guess maybe you could already generate them and just not collect them if you're not wearing it, I'm assuming. Previous Guardian Game class items, the Cunning Rivalry Cloak, Mighty Rivalry Mark, and Sage Rivalry Bond will not generate laurels or progress any Guardian Games bounties. These are issues. I think they already clarified that they weren't going to do that. Class items acquired from Zavala are rewarded at 1250 power level instead of 1300, which can be acquired from Eva. Are these things that are going to be fixed day one or no? Aware of certain issues and information before logging in the first time. So no, these aren't going to be fixed.
Or were these like issues from previous Guardian games?
Guardian Games known issues. Before Guardian Games 2020 launches on April 20, we want players to be aware of certain issues and information before logging in for the first time. Yeah, these are things that are currently going on, which is kind of disappointing. It's kind of glaring. There's a lot of them. Laurels do not drop on the ground in Gambit or Crucible and are instead rewarded directly to players. That's an issue?
I don't really understand that.
Unrecovered laurels do not go to the postmaster and must be picked up to the count. Okay, that kind of seems like it would be. If the medal case is full, medals earned through claiming triumphs will be lost. The laurel acquisition step of Heir Apparent Exotic Quest only counts laurels picked up from the ground. Players will not be able to deposit medals if they were acquired in the tower after playing. Players have already deposited medals of the same rarity. Players can return to orbit and head back to the tower to deposit those medals. Certain shaders may erroneously remove the glow from the Eververse Warlock Guardian Games Universal Ornament set. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Warlock's getting the shaft every which way. As always, we'll be monitoring player reports for our help forum at Bungie.net. We'll be updating our top issues article as big issues arise. For more information, please visit Guardian Game support page. Okay, these are the help forums, Bungie on Twitter. Okay. Steam Datagram Relay. Over the past few weeks, we have expanded SDR coverage to Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation consoles. As a result, players may encounter an increase in beaver errors. If you receive additional errors or connection issues, please post a report to the help forum. I wonder if this is the preparedness that they're trying to get ahead of for crossplay.
Yeah, they're setting up for crossplay.
It definitely seems that way.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
They're getting their eggs in a row for crossplay.
That's
really
good.
appreciate the turnout today, everybody. We've been reading through the TWAB since it came out. It actually came out right on time today, right when we started the stream. If you've been reading along with me, or if you trailed back, but if you want something that you want to talk about today, jump into the Discord. We're going to be talking about it. Give me your best thoughts, questions, ideas, or if you're pissed off or you hate it, you want to just say, you know what, I hate this. See you later. Jump on in. All right. Dismantle your shaders. Beginning in Season 14, launching May 11th, we are overhauling our shader system and how shaders can be applied to armor. Due to the overhaul, shaders will become permanent unlocks and all shaders in players' inventories will be removed. We encourage everyone to dismantle their shaders before Season 14 begins to ensure that you receive Glimmer and Legendary Shards. More information about our new shader system can be found here. A few weekly known issues. While we continue investigating various known issues, here's a list of the latest issues that were reported to us in our Help Forum. Pit of Heresy, Soul of Floss Emblem. Crimson Echoes is not tracking completions. Players can fall beneath the grate in the Proving Ground strike and become trapped. The Assassin's Cowl. Exotic Hunter Helmet through clips through the majority of Hunter Cloaks. Seems pretty minute. For a full list of emergent issues in Destiny 2, players can review the known issues article. Players who observe other issues should report them to the Help Forum. A few movies of the week. Oh my god, this one looks hilarious. I'll probably watch this one later. It's the Drifter superimposed on a Fallout did it too. He superimposed Drifter's head on the principal from The Simpsons. So I'll have to check that one out. The Man with Two Rifles. This one looks pretty interesting. And then a few galleries of some of the artists. This one looks really cool. The Proving Grounds boss, as she's laying down on a few of these Guardians. One's running with guillotine. It looks like that looks like Arbalist. Is that No, that's Dead Man's. That's Dead Man's in the Hunter's hand. And then the bow. What bow is that? Is that Trinity? No, that's Tiku's. That's really cool. Really cool. Nice artwork. Bird Gang, Osiris and Save 14, please sign the adoption papers for Crow. Wow, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, Guardians. We want a good, clean competition. Remember, while it's fun to poke fun at other classes and enjoy partaking in friendly rivalry, at the end of the day, we're all in the same team. Let's keep it cordial and not be poor sports, win or lose. So to my fellow hunters, let's be very humble when we win the gold this year. I doubt the hunters win. I think someone's gonna meme. I think the warlocks will probably get last. But I don't know. I mean, if they wanted this to be fun, I thought the idea was cool as a group. You, myself, and Ethan. We thought it would be fun, and then as it just got every day, we just saw the results, and it was just Titans by a landslide.
It really was. It was kind of funny just after the first few days to log in and see that Titans were so far ahead of everybody. Like,
I cared less and less about it.
Oh, every day.
Less and
every
less
day.
about it. Less and less about it. So
yeah.
There's that's pretty much it. I'm gonna see who's in the Discord and wants to come in. Thomas, I see you in there. I see McStabby and Incredible Black. I'm gonna drag y'all in there and give you all some time to tell me what y'all think. All right, I'm gonna let Thomas go first. I'm gonna bring you all in to talk all together. I'm just gonna let Tom go first with what he wants to say. T-Bone, let me invite you to speak. Go ahead and accept that invitation, T-Bone. What up? What up, buddy?
I would actually like to hear the rest of everybody's speak, so my opinions can, develop further.
Yeah, I want to give you the. I'm going to give you the floor first, and as soon as you say what you want to say, I'm going to bring them all in together, and everyone's going to have to. Everyone will go in and jump in.
I would like to hear other people's opinions first, if that's okay with you.
Got you. Black and McStabby. Just go ahead and accept those invites. What up, fellas?
All is good.
How you doing, dude? What up, Black? You muted, buddy?
Oh, I think he's muted.
So go ahead, McStabby. Tell me what you think or what you have on your mind from the TWAB.
So starting from the playlist they're adding, honestly, where was that last year?
Mm-hmm.
That's such an obvious, in-your-face, easy. Here you go. Here's how we decide this. But instead, we got essentially what was a bounty simulator that hunters really couldn't participate in on Void Day. We could not get Void melee kills to save our lives.
Yeah,
that was awful. And then going about it, comparing how easy it was on each class to do the bounties, Titans was overall the easiest to bounty farm on. They just have everything going for them in every category. Grenade, melee, super. It's just an easy win for a Titan if all it takes is doing bounties. In a playlist, if they're doing it by your gun skill and so on and so forth and not just ability kills on a bounty, I think this could actually sway a bit more towards the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it's just bounty simulator, Titan's going to win again.
I kind of agree with the same thing. I think it's going to heavy favor in a group that wants to position themselves in a certain area where they can just overly utilize either a skill. I know a lot of people were mentioning in chat that Titans were using Insurmountable Fort a ton, and it makes sense because it's basically always giving you a melee and always giving you laurels, giving to other Titans that you're playing with. So I feel that they're kind of setting themselves up for disaster, but at the same time, I want to assume that they're kind of preparing themselves this time with this 10% extra for the team that gets last place, and then for these negative additions for the other positions within the race to kind of like balance it out.
Now, there is something that does kind of combat that. And it was a buff to a set of 3 exotic pieces, one on each class. that should help counter a lot of that. Skull 4 use. Those buffs to the what are they called? The Aeon sets. That should help even the playing field across the board for everyone. You get 3 of anybody running those, everybody's getting good amount of ability back.
Yeah, that's
I was
true.
gonna say, what do you think, Seth?
That's true. But I think it's funny because Aeons is actually a extremely good exotic across all 3 classes. Like if you're in high level, play. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's going to be more beneficial if you have a coordinated group. I just don't see it being beneficial for like casual players who are just hopping in the playlist because nobody. I mean, it's not like such a staple of the meta in the game. Aeons is so easily forgotten about for other exotics. But it does work well with team play for the high-end activities. You have a point, but I don't know how much that's going to matter. It could. It could be really good. And I would love to see Aeons buffed, honestly, because I would love to see more
I think
exotics synergize across different classes. I think that would be great. But
I think what they did with Aeons was a great start, but I think it needed more. I think it needs.
There's not enough incentive in my mind, but
I'll be honest. I would definitely make a change to one of them. It's the Sect of Vigor. I don't like the gain class ability as your allies die. That just any perk that requires a teammate to die. That's just a bad perk.
Yeah. Destiny has a real thing for stuff like that. I mean, we were talking about it 2 weeks ago with Celerity and in the TWAB and things like that, and the changes they made. It's just silly where, those perks or those abilities, anything that gives you a buff when your allies die. I mean, I get it, but the whole idea is to not get there.
Yeah.
So.
If you're just joining us, we just went through the TWAB. A lot of it was about the Guardian games. We have people from our Discord that are part of this community that have jumped into the call because they want to talk about it. And it's an open invitation to anybody that's listening right now. If you want to be a part of the conversation right now, talk about maybe the Guardian games or anything Destiny related that has pretty much happened within the current events of what's going on, by all means, please come in and be a part of the conversation. I'm going to try and get Critical Black back in here. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Aeons, if you pop your super next to a teammate, it grants them an overshield?
I don't know, honestly.
Let me check.
I believe it's an overshield if you res, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost positive you get an overshield because it gives it to everybody in the vicinity if you res.
It's kind of along the same lines of like the Charged with Light perks and the Elemental Wells. Like, are people really gonna go? I know some people do. I typically don't because I play PvP mostly. I set up builds with Seraph builds if I'm doing like strikes and things like that because I think those are more beneficial for just slaughtering the entire room. But you get that same flavor from those, Charged with Light perks when you're doing stuff. It charges your allies. They get ability regen, grenade, etc. So I think those all matter, but how much are those influencing the game or this event? It's negligible, in my opinion.
To answer the question, the Sect of Vigor is the ability energy as allies die. Full ability energy when you resurrect an ally, and then when you cast a super, nearby allies gain an instant burst of healing. An Aeon called allies who do not have the Vigor roll equipped gain the overshield.
Gotcha.
It's still not enough. It's still not enough. Like not enough to like I've seen some people taking it to Grandmasters, and some of those people are typically doing that stuff on the reg. You couldn't give Aeons to people that maybe do one a season and they're gonna go in there and be as efficient just because they're benefiting from those set bonuses.
Right, and there's a lot of nuance with those sets because like you have to. One player is literally playing like a support role, and groups that are in that strike playlist probably aren't going to be typically doing that.
Yeah.
Again, unless you're with a coordinated group, which is fine, but I mean, there's other ways. Like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how to fix Aeons. I think like Bungie did like the best they could, making them broken.
Mm-hmm.
right.
So
right.
like this is kind of like I know there will be not like a niche for it. Like for instance,
For sure.
Eternal Warrior. You know, it's like swap to with a micro, and that's about it.
Yeah, there's definitely niche play for sure, and that stuff can be really good. But I like my other exotics a lot more, and I feel like I get more benefit for my specific class or my role than I would with.
I feel like the
Gauntlets.
Ursa meta that's been just dominating Grandmasters the last 3 weeks has been more useful and at least more efficient for most Guardians.
Exactly.
Than the Aeons.
And when you need to burn a boss before he hits a certain aggro phase, you know, you're gonna run 2 Chaos Reach Warlocks.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just, I don't think Aeons could outshine that, but maybe in more of a casual where you're not having to worry about burning a boss in a phase like that. Aeons, you get some buddies together and you go, hey, throw these on. We're just going to mow through this and get a ton of ability to, regen. It might work. I don't know. It could be fun. I'm sure there's people that are going to do it. I'm sure there's going to be some videos on it. But
Gion407, I just sent you an invite. What you got, buddy? When he gets live, you just got to turn on your mic, bud, and you are invited to speak. I'm excited for the heir apparent catalyst, but I mean, there's really nothing I'm truly thinking about or looking for and am excited about in this event, and I feel like that should change. And I'm going to make a comparison here, and I'm not going to make a comparison of what they offer in terms of a game, but in terms of what they offer in a seasonal and something to look forward to every portion of the year. Overwatch has events and things involved that get you excited to be a part of that event, whether it's the Junkenstein one, the anniversary one where you have your time to get a bunch of skins that you missed throughout the year. I think those, and I don't want to add a FOMO to these events. I don't know who the hell would want a FOMO for Guardian Games. People that missed out on something like the heir apparent. Thank God it wasn't really that meta shifting, because people would have felt like shit. I'm not. Again, I'm not really too excited. I'm excited about the catalyst. Maybe there'll be something different in terms of competitive value where we look at reset every single day and welcome it. So, G on 47, what's going on, dude?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're loud and clear. What's up, dude?
Okay, cool. I just wanted to hop in and just talk for a little bit. I'm kind of at work, but I have a few minutes to speak.
Absolutely.
I caught half of the TWAB reading. I heard about the playlist. It's definitely interesting to see that they're adding something to entice us to actually want to come in day to day, and not just here's a bunch of bounties that hunters can only do a third of and watch the other classes just run away with.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, you're giving us more of something to stay on track, because I bet there's probably people after maybe the first 3 days, if not the first weekend, they saw the Titans just run away with it, and they're like, this is a joke. I'm not wasting my time with it. Like, at least I'm not going to waste my time and think like I'm making a difference. I'm going out there and I'm helping my team win. No, you're not. Everyone's just memeing with their Titan, and you're just going to wake up the next day.
And that goes more to back to kind of my point of like having the ability to continually earn progress towards your team's rank. Even if I completed my bounties, even if I've done all that stuff, I want to be able to continue like earning progression, even if it's just minimal, right?
Yeah.
Like I just think that should be part of the games, because everybody's going to be able to do bounties, right? Unless you're hindered like the hunters were, because then they couldn't, and then you get this weird dichotomy of like, well, I don't even want to do the bounties because I can't, and then you get the other players who are like, well, what's the point of doing the bounties, because that's all I can do, and the Titans are overwhelming everybody anyway.
Yeah.
So, or it doesn't even need to be Titan specifically, but
Yeah. Go ahead, McStabby. Sorry.
I think about 75% of the hunter population got to Void Day and then went, nope.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And I'm a Void
Exactly.
player, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do this. I don't even care to do this. What was your feelings last year on the Guardian games? I want to get you as much talking time since you're on a little break from work.
No worries. So last year. I was a diehard hunter. I've been since D1, and refused to play any other class. Create another character here or there, but ultimately just always played the hunter. And I was one of those guys where I'd grab every bounty, every 5-10 minutes, creating builds to try to run through them as fast as possible. LFGing hunter only groups. I was committed. I was in the Kool-Aid for this event.
Yeah.
And then I got to Void Day, and I'm like, okay, it shouldn't be a big deal. Void melee kills, like, okay, Monty, right? Just running Monty, and then all of a sudden I'm realizing that you basically have to get him down to 1 HP, hit him with the smoke, and
you couldn't use Top Tree.
Hits them.
You couldn't use Top Tree
Yeah,
at
and
all.
if the smoke kills them, then it counted. But if the grenade hit them and killed them, it wouldn't count.
It wouldn't count.
Yes.
So it was this like very tiny specific window that basically after the second and third Void Day, I just gave up.
Yeah, it was such a drag and a dread because at the time, this is pre-stasis, I was exclusively using Top Tree Void Night Stalker, and I'm like, man, I can't even use the one day I'm excited about. I think I only picked up things that were the elements of the guns I was using, especially when I was going into PvP, like bounties that were like maybe like solar weapons, because Beloved was the sniper at the time and I was using it. So it's so selective, and I hate that it kind of hinders a person that wants to play a specific way. What else do you think, bud?
I don't know. Like I'm kind of excited to jump in and see what's going on.
What about the negative modifiers? Are you
Okay.
upset about the negative? Sorry, about the negative modifiers. Are you upset about that? You think it's going to be something that we're probably going to be like, it wasn't a big deal. We're kind of just making a thing about it.
Yeah.
But I'm sick of negative modifiers.
I don't think it'll be that big a deal. I think it would have been cool if they, instead of necessarily giving a negative modifier, just giving a positive to whoever was in last place. Just strictly a positive.
Right. Just purely
So,
a positive
let's say
buff
Hunters
for
run
the
in
last place. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just give them like, hey, your primary weapons do that much extra damage or something.
Yeah.
Something
Yep.
simple.
I mean, like, I understand, like, giving it to last place, but, I mean, playing as, like, a Titan guy, at least last year, you know how they made it so, like, Titans got, like, what is it, like, double XP or double rewards, because their player base was just not up to, like, Hunters. And, I don't know exactly what to do. Hopefully, at least with when it came to the Void, they actually focused these bounties rather than like as a whole of like, you know, Titan, Warlock, Hunter, but individually class. So each bounty is specifically tied and focused around each class rather than saying like, oh, get Void melee kills. To make it more fair.
Thanks, Smashville and Krebsy. Yeah, Creature's taking a look at the poll command. He was messing with the commands yesterday. He's still getting his hands on that one. He's been busy with Lono. Lono had a very busy day today, so I'm sure he'll get around to it. But if you'd like to take that poll, yeah, right. If you'd like to take that poll, come over to the Crucible Coliseum channel page, and then go over to the community tab and give me your thoughts. I kind of worded it to be a joke, but hey, you know, this event is a joke anyway. So, are the changes to Guardian games enough to get you to try it again? As so far, 45% says yeah, why not? 27% are split between the last two. No way, it's going to be another joke. And then the last one, I'm just here to laugh at that trophy. And a lot of people are probably going to write that because they know it's going to be a joke, but that answer seems funny, so I kind of set it up I set it up for that kind of expectations. Metpock, I see you in here, buddy. What are your thoughts? What are you feeling about either Guardian Games or just Destiny in whole right now?
Well, I'll start with the TWAB. I was expecting something different, but I figured, Guardian Games was coming, so good. We got some updates. What I hope the bounties aren't like they were last year. Kind of hindered the hunters a little bit. People memed, went on Titan, and it was just so easy to get the bounties done on Titan. I'm a Titan main, and I ran around with Skull Fort and shoulder charge everything. It was ridiculously easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was ridiculously easy to get the bounties done as a Titan. I just hope the bounties aren't get X amount of kills with this, get X amount of kills with that, get X amount of kills. That's mind
The doc.
like it's mind numbing doing that.
Yeah.
So,
Something come back anyways.
What were you saying? No, I think he was talking to somebody else. Go on.
Oh, anyway, positive changes. I like the tiers that we got going on with the bronze, silver, platinum. I don't like negative modifiers at all. But if you're gonna make it for harder, for gold and platinum, I guess that makes sense. But I hate platinum. I hate negative modifiers.
What did you take away from the TWAB as probably your most positive? Is did you have one, or is there something you're kind of just like meh about? What's your general feeling?
I mean, I can see they're trying to do a better job with Guardian Games because I think they feel disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So the updates I do like. The changes they've made I do like. It's going to be interesting to see what it is once we get into the meat potatoes of everything.
Yeah.
But they haven't given up on it, so we'll see. So I guess that's a positive for me that they're it wasn't a one and done thing like the faction rallies was. That was a complete failure, and they're never going to go back to that again apparently. So
unfortunate too, because I like the factions.
Yeah, I prefer
I did
that
too.
over...
But I agree, and I'm like, this is so made for Sparrow Racing. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
We got the shaders, like it's so simple. We can race.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Tom.
would say, like, at the very least, I mean, I feel like I don't know who was a fan of Rift, but there was a game type that hey Wolfie, you played Halo 3, right?
Yeah.
So Rift was kind of basically it was Griff Ball.
Okay.
And you could it would spawn like at the middle of the map, and you would take it to the opposing team, and it would big explosion. I mean, I'm not saying they should have done this, but it would have been interesting if they made some type of like event rather than us just doing bounties and saying, oh look, now we have a catalyst to farm, which I honestly don't really care about the machine gun. I don't know about you guys, but
yeah, it's definitely not. I don't have anything circled. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, why only one exotic? Why not bring in some guns for us to chase? That would be more of an incentive than just
agreed.
Oh, here's shiny armor. I'm looking more forward to Festival of the Lost, not just because of the armors we got to vote on.
The weapons, yeah.
But the fact that we got weapons.
That's a good point. They have all kinds of witty names for guns. I'm pretty sure they could have made something Olympic named and named these weapons and put in a few weapons, but I don't know. I guess it's all bandwidth.
We get what? An exotic machine gun.
Yeah. It's a fun meme gun, but it's really like I said it last year. It was the only thing worth doing in the event, and especially how it ended. It definitely seemed like it was the only thing worth doing at all. I don't know. Is there? I'll be honest with you, and Metpa kind of reminded me of my thought process in the beginning of this. I thought we were going to get this portion of it, but I thought he was also, the community manager, was going to talk about maybe some more sandbox changes. We got a little bit. They kind of alluded that we're going to get a few more in the coming TWABs before the season ends, and we've got probably, what do we got? 3 more Thursdays before the drop of next season. So, I mean, I would assume they would have to start next week if there is substantial, if they're going to break it down, or if they're going to just throw it all into one and talk about it. Let me ask you, T-Bone, is there anything sandbox wise that you think or want to be either addressed or mentioned in the coming weeks before the season ends?
I mean, sandbox wise, I don't know exactly what they can say. I mean, the community has talked about this way more than me. Yeah, I just don't know. I would have to just think on that. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's not.
That's okay. No. That's okay, because some people are quite okay with the meta, or quite okay with the sandbox.
Well,
there's
I would
ahead.
say, like, if anything, I feel like 120s are kind of I think they just have way too much range.
Yeah. Okay.
And
those are good thoughts.
I just feel like if you have anything that is not like a hand cannon, like a pulse, or let's say like a scout, you're just taking way too much flinch when like that hand cannon. The 120s have at least the maps. It's very hard to basically outpace, or if a 120 is against you and you have like a scout, it's very hard for you to come out on top.
No doubt.
Yeah. If they get that hit, if they get the first hit on you, that flinch, you're done. Like,
what do you think? What do you think, Matt Pock? Is there anything sandbox wise that you kind of are hoping for, or maybe some sort of addressing?
Yeah, I love hand cannons, and when you're going into the higher levels here, I'm using either Bottom Dollar or that True Prophecy. So and I got a really good palindrome, and it's rarely used. So 140s need some help. They can't compete because the range drop off. They don't hit as hard as the 120s. They don't have the range as the 120s, so it feels they're on the back burner a little bit. The 180s, they need help. Those are pathetic.
They're drowning.
Pea
They're
shooters.
drowning. Yeah,
they're
drowning.
Man. I think they're afraid because when Luna's Howl was a 180 back in the day, I think they're afraid of pulling those out. People pulling out those kill clip perks and all those, and getting pops little nice little 3 taps in less than a second. So I think they're afraid of that. But 180s are definitely in a terrible spot. Let's see, shotguns. Well, what are the adaptive frames?
Yeah.
Those need a little help because the aggressive frames are dominant. They dominate all day, every day. Even taking out quick draw. They're still going to dominate. I think
people will probably find some replacement perk, and it will still be probably best in slot for most. Yeah. Exactly.
That's why I like to use slugs, man, because I feel they got the range there, and if they're going to take quick draw out, I think my first in last out that competes, chaperone competes. But the adaptive frames and those precision frames, they don't compete at all whatsoever. So I like to see the shotguns looked at, those hand cannons looked at. So that's my main issue there with the sandbox.
I think they're probably they already mentioned it about the 120s. They're probably gonna be looked at. It's like almost pointless to run scouts. You see people running scouts, you're like, what is this guy doing? Either that, you're saying that to yourself, or you're like, man, this guy's just really good with his scout. G, is there anything sandbox wise, just based on what they mentioned last week about coming out before the season's over? Is there anything about the current sandbox? Are you loving it? Are you liking it? Or is there anything that needs to be addressed in your eyes?
Honestly, like, this might sound crazy and I'll probably get a lot of heat for this, but the sandbox before the hand cannons got their like range back per se, I thought was pretty balanced.
The 600 auto rifle meta? Okay.
Minus the auto rifle part.
Okay.
I felt like for the most part, like you could see a good diversity of everything. Now I'm just dying to an igneous hammer or like a true prophecy, and then,
steady hand, all that stuff.
Yeah, steady hand, all the 120s, and I'm just like the other day I was playing Crucible, and I was just like, there's no way that I'm across the map, hard scoping. I know it's bad, but I'm hard scoping with dead mans, and I'm just getting like out dueled by like, a true prophecy that had no idea I was there. And I was just like, damn, like this is crazy. Like, they touch you once, and like your reticle is just like off the map. And I'm on PS4, so we have a terrible, field of view and everything. So like, heaven forbid you get close. It's just. I don't know. Kind of hoping like someone said earlier.
Yeah.
What's
if
up?
I
What was
could
that?
ask, like, Wolfie, what do you think should, or what is maybe a solution to the 120 situation? Like, what are your
The
thoughts on
range, the range. Some of them hit like a truck. There's a lot of damage glitching going on where people will get too tapped and their resilience isn't really a factor. I think that needs to kind of be looked at a little bit. I guess I don't really have a problem with it. You guys all know I don't use a hand cannon per se. I know how to use it. I'm prepared to use a 120. I got great 120 rolls, but I don't know. It's not really affecting me. I guess I don't really have such a strong opinion about some things involving weapon metas and arc types, is because I find myself not really using them. So I guess if it's like out of sight, out of mind, I'm not really too concerned about it. But when you're getting killed by things the ways that they are, whether it's getting two shot by a 120 through a damage glitch, or the range on those things that basically negates a scout rifle usage, I don't know. Some weapons need love, and some weapons need to be just maybe tweaked just a tad bit. McStabby, what do you think? Do you have any thoughts on sandbox changes and or things that you want to see addressed?
Well, we already know the 120s are getting addressed. That's season 14. They're cutting the range back a bit. Scouts, I'll be real. Scouts are going to be in a bad place until we get some larger maps. These maps, there's just not enough space for a scout rifle. Mm-hmm. They require so much range to be effective in that it's like Deadman's and what's the scout called? Trustee. They only really excel because of their fire rates.
Yeah.
Right.
Deadman's can compete because it's basically long range last word.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Trustee, which is just all around you essentially have a auto rifle that's doing scout rifle damage currently. Pulse rifles, I don't know where to go with those, because my experience, I can outduel most of the 120s
right
with a Time Worn Spire.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. I feel like the Time Worn Spire is probably in the best spot right now where you can just burn through someone. Messenger, of course, it's a solid 2 bursts to the head, and then you proc Desperado, you're melting people.
And then you got the quiet sleepers. You got Vigilant Swing hiding in the winds somewhere. And then, surprisingly, I saw some footage today of somebody whipping out the what's that pulse? The Graviton Lance. Yeah, they were just two bursting people left and right. Yeah, Graviton. Pulse rifles are in a weird spot where it's like, I think quietly they're good as they are. They're
Some
just
are good.
being outshined, and then you got the other legendaries that just aren't good because their stat rolls are awful.
Right. Like with pulses, man, some are good, some are bad. With a pulse, it's the perks that make it up. I mean, but yeah, scouts are in a miserable place, man. We need better maps.
I would say this: if they cannot do the maps, the least you can do is maybe tone down the flinch that you receive using the scout.
Right. Okay.
Something to balance that. Yeah, I agree.
Like make like no distractions, almost like intrinsic on scouts. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually be. The other thing I will note is if you look at our maps as they are, they were not made for
3-on-3.
No.
3-on-3, 4-on-4. They seem to flow okay, but you go to normal Crucible, the 6-on-6.
6-on-6
The flow is ruined.
For sure.
Well, the other thing,
There's a few maps.
There's too many people.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the other thing that
There's
has a
plenty of
major
maps
impact
like
on
that.
is the speed. The speed of the game is so much higher now than it used to be, and so it just throws everything off. It throws everything off.
That's why shotguns are so dominant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We cover so much ground. We're so fast. You know, some characters can get across the board in a few slides. It's yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of broke my mind when they introduced the Titan slide for the stasis subclass. It's like, oh, they're faster now. Joy.
Yeah. Faster,
Yay.
further.
They can
Shotgun
ape,
apes all day.
yeah,
Shotgun
they can
apes
ape
all day.
harder. Yeah.
There's also another archetype that, like, I've seen some people say, like, oh, well, I get killed by this one gun, but it's like, I mean, I don't really see any fusion rifle play outside of, you know, Bastion. Like, I don't know about your experience, but, like, how often
Telesto.
do you see a...
Telesto.
Mhm.
A lot of
I-
Telesto.
Okay.
is a-
Yeah.
But I'm saying
There-
as a whole, like, do you see a lot of
There's
fusion rifles?
not anymore because there's no legendaries other than Glaciocasm.
Right.
Aaron
Aaron
Tail, Aaron Tail,
right
yeah,
anymore.
Aaron Tail used to dominate the floor, and
It did.
Aaron Tail gave room for people to want to try Alatha. Alatha was pretty decent at the time. I'm surprised not many people run Alatha anymore, but Glaciocasm wasn't around long enough, and when it was out, nobody was interested, and no one wanted to farm it. So unless they put something like Glaciocasm, which best emulated Aaron Tail, back into the mix, no one's going to want to run a legendary, or excuse me, an exotic fusion rifle, because all the exotic ones are probably the best ones.
Yeah. Do you think that they
Yep.
should do anything or take a look at fusion rifles?
I
Wolfie?
would-
Go. Sorry, what were you gonna say? Who
do
was
you-
just? No, someone
do
was
you
just
have-
talking before that.
Okay, go
Sorry.
I would argue Exile's Curse is actually fairly decent. 'Cause
There's
I-
a small percentage of people that have picked that up, and
Right.
It's,
And
it's
I don't know,
actually
man.
Very,
Go ahead.
very good.
Yeah. I'm surprised though, because of how long it's been around, that no one. I feel like it has become good because there's nothing around.
Right.
And I think it's almost adding to what I'm saying, is that people are worth, or are finding its worth, because they're like, damn, I really wish I had a legendary and I don't have Glaciocasm. Hell, this Exile's not bad. Maybe it'll pair well with whatever exotic I want to run that's not a fusion. Sorry, T-Bone, what were you going to ask?
Do you feel they should take a look at fusion rifles at all, Wolfie?
In what way, though?
Like, let's say like the quick charge times, like those fusions. Like, if you miss like just one bolt, and if you're not far up close, you're basically dead. And also, many of those ranges, a like Fellwinter can also hit.
I guess where I find myself. Go. What were you gonna say, Seth? What were you gonna say?
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh,
I'll wait. I'll let somebody else say something.
I
do have a point on that.
I was just gonna add that how I'm feeling about fusions. I guess I'm gonna hate myself for saying this. There needs to be another Aaron Tail or another gun that makes it, viable for some people, where it's not only accessible in trials or in a Grandmaster, something that everyone can get. Until we see that, things like Bastion, Jotun, and Telesto are going to reign supreme, because they're almost, I don't want to say guaranteed, but those have some sort of effectiveness. Bastion, where I'm coming from in my argument, I think Bastion is too effective.
Yeah,
I
agree.
think maybe this change might do something. I don't know. Playtesting it would give everyone a better idea. I think the Bastion has slowly been rising in the trials usage. It is now, I have trials report up right now. Bastion's currently sitting at number 7 among all platforms. That's really high. That's really high, considering PC probably hasn't really touched it for the longest time, and it's now starting to become that much more apparent. Seth, what were you going to add?
When we look at like fusion rifles versus shotguns, when you have a shotgun, you're typically You're following it up with a melee if you need to, right? So there's not as much risk involved. With a fusion rifle, there is more risk involved. I mean, the reward is you have more range. But I think the problem with, and this kind of stems to the way Destiny is in general right now, the whole sandbox, is you have too many weapons that transcend where they should be, right? You have to start putting weapons in certain ranges, certain tiers, things like that. I think scout rifles and sniper rifles should be roughly on the same level. Pulse rifles, hand cannons should be roughly on the same level in terms of range.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So shotguns and sidearms or fusion rifles and SMGs, things like that. Then you can have kind of the oddball out, I guess, would be like
Linear fusion,
auto rifles, auto rifles or linear fusion rifles, things like that. So there's just a weird balance they have to find. But right now, there are some good fusion rifles, and Wolverine can attest to this. I've been using Telesto almost exclusively in trials now, and Bastion. Now I just kind of rotate between the two depending on what I'm facing. But the reason why Bastion will shut down a super, Bastion is just
so
ridiculous.
annoying.
It's
just
so strong. It's
ridiculous,
tell you an
right?
Interesting
But
fact about
one more
Bastion.
thing is like Telesto, you have that extra utility of I can lay this on the floor if I think someone's going to rush me. There's some added benefits of that, and that's just from being an exotic. But
go on.
go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
So I found out that apparently a truth rocket, like if you have a stasis warlock running at you and they have like high resilience, if you shoot that truth
They can
rocket
eat
at
it?
them, they will eat it. They
Wow.
will eat it
Really?
and spit it out.
That's absurd.
It'll only do about 50% health to them.
Wow.
A Bastion, it doesn't even take the last shot to kill them.
Yeah, it's just two.
Like,
One to
Yeah.
break their shields, and then the other
That's
one to finish
absurd.
them off. Yeah.
Essentially, Bastion is a heavy weapon in our kinetic slot.
Yes.
Move it to the
100%.
heavy slot.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Yeah, that makes
Put it
sense.
there.
Yeah.
Put it in the heavy slot and make it.
If they were gonna keep it as lethal as it is, and I'm not, I guess we can't sit here and honestly, as much as I want to see it to heavy, it's not something that's ever gonna happen.
well,
That
I'm
charge
also-
time, if they're going to leave that damage, they're going to leave that range, they're going to leave all that. That charge time needs to be significantly higher. That's just my opinion. That's where I stand on it. If they're not going to change anything about it, they're going to 13% of the spread is being increased, and they are not changing anything else. If that's solely it, I think that charge time needs to be up by like maybe an extra 1.5 seconds.
I have another question for everybody. Okay, why do heavy snipers exist at this point?
Show for the beginning
For
of
memes,
yeah
for
the-
memes, I guess.
yeah for figuring out meters with Darcy in private matches. It's
Right, if they remove Darcy, you know how many streamers would be pissed about that?
oh
What I mean
100%.
is, no. What I mean is, why are they still in the heavy slot and not in
Right.
the special anymore?
Honestly, that's
It's like
probably not.
I think it's to keep
Yeah, go on.
it's to keep Black Spindle in check.
Yeah, I think so too.
Honestly, I feel like
Yeah,
that's the
Whisper,
only reason.
Whisper. Yeah,
Yeah,
Whisper,
Whisper's
sorry,
the only
yes.
one I could see staying in the heavy slot. They could move Darcy up. That'd be
Right.
fine.
yeah,
There's no point in keeping
Yeah,
Darcy in the heavy slot.
pretty
Though for
useless.
Truth, I'm surprised Truth doesn't intrinsically have suppression on it. That just makes sense.
Between Truth and I think Two-Tailed Fox should have suppression automatically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, anything that's just firing a void rocket should be a suppressor included. That's
Right.
exotic.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I mean,
exotic. That's exotic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exotic,
if
yeah.
you look at Two-Tailed, right, it shoots a void and a solar rocket. Like
Mhm.
technically, to make it a little more interesting and probably give it a little more usage, if it did like a slight suppression with the void and then a slight burn with the solar, like
Mhm.
that would make that rocket like an actual viable choice
I mean,
and not being
I've never
outclassed by
thought of
like
that.
legendaries.
Yeah, I've never thought about that, but yeah, I mean, like, if it's a rocket and you're shooting at something in PvP, it shouldn't take it. Like unless it's like using those like Titan deflector shields, like the legs.
The Antaeus.
Let me
Antaeus wards.
let me ask you guys, since we've taken all this time on weapons, let's talk a little bit about subclasses and classes in general. Do we feel is stasis at a point where we could stop touching it? And what about our light subclasses? Go ahead, Medpop.
Lights need a whole revival.
Okay. Stasis. I've played a lot with all three classes on stasis. Right now, the Hunter is the best one so far. It was the Titan for a little bit, but Hunter still a little too strong, man. And I've been enjoying playing the Hunter lately, but it's still a little too strong. Warlock is still weak sauce. They've did a better job with it, but I still feel at a disadvantage playing as a Warlock as using stasis class. I really do.
I think
Black
to
would,
your point though,
Black would say different. Black's going off.
I think Warlock Super is the best right now.
I would disagree with. I agree with Black. Yeah, I disagree with that statement.
I like
Go ahead.
the Super, but
Go ahead.
it's just the abilities just aren't as good as the.
What are
Absolutely.
your weak points to just the skill set and the kit?
Yeah, I mean, if you dodge and freeze some guy, that's
Yes.
powerful,
See,
man.
I
That's
will agree
powerful.
with that. The only thing is the Warlock has a really
But
good
you can't
grenade
do
with
that.
that turret. That's fantastic.
Okay, here's the thing. Like Titan, will just Superman punch you.
Yeah.
Warlock, it pops. So if I do my Thunder Crash on it and it pops that well, I get frozen, then insta kill. And if I do Superman Coat of the Missile, and he does that melee, I'm frozen in the air,
Yeah.
and I get sniped. Like it's not fun.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've been frozen with doing that with any subclass. I mean, I've had the shurikens thrown at me, and I've had the Squall and the Hunter one.
Silence and Squall, yeah.
Yeah, Silence and Squall. I've been frozen in there with that. Like, we need to quit being frozen in midair. That's annoying, and you can't do anything about it till you hit the ground. It's just so dumb.
It's shitty.
My main issue
but
is
go on. No. G was about to say. What was your main
go
issue?
ahead.
Yeah.
so they nerfed the shuriken freeze, right? So like even with 2, if you land both, like at times you still don't freeze somebody. I've literally dodged away from a Warlock and they shoot their melee and I was way over their head. They weren't aiming at me. And like the hit registration on those like little shards they shoot out is like absurd. It's insane, like the hit registration, like the area they can actually cover, and so I have to disagree with anyone that said that the Warlocks were like in a bad spot. I think they're extremely powerful.
Yeah.
You've
Agreed.
seen Black pop off with them.
Yeah.
I just feel
what
like
he does with
every
that kit is
aspect,
awesome.
They're good.
Yeah.
That
He does work with
melee-
it.
For what it does, it comes out it's too quick to come out. Like really too quick.
I think it's at a perfect spot. I think if I was probably a Warlock, I'd be running stasis just for that melee. I'd make things happen for it.
100%.
Yeah, because that
You'd be wrong
melee
if
is
you
just
weren't.
pop.
Well,
It's
here's-
that quick.
Can I add 2 things?
Go ahead.
One, when you get frozen in the air, you don't start breaking out until you hit the ground.
Yeah.
So, and 2, like the Warlock. How would I? Actually, no. I just forgot what I was going to say. So I'm gonna have to rethink what I just said.
All right.
That's fine.
It happens, especially when we're all in a conversation and we're on the spot about it. I've adapted as a hunter to whatever changes they've done to the class and stasis itself, and it's I don't know. I personally I've always been content with where it's at. I'll continue to be content on where it's at, but it's something that's upset a lot of people. For a lot of people, don't play the game now because of stasis.
Right.
I mean, I think it's in an okay spot. I honestly like if they nerf anything, I'd be like, maybe a little too much. I mean, I don't like the way the Warlocks are at,
I just
but they're
remembered what I was
manageable.
going to say. Can I say this real quick?
Go on.
So, here's the thing: if you're using let's say you're using a Titan stasis super or like a Hunter, if you're using that super and you're playing it against another super, you usually have to land two shots, or with the Titan, the Hunter, you have to throw the shuriken, then do the vortex to finally clean up the super, and it'll take us a couple seconds. The Warlock, if it lands that shard, doesn't matter what super you are, it's just one burst and you're dead. Full health, whatever, you're dead. He only needs to land one of those and you're dead. So again, it's like that super is just, you may have seen the clips of the tracking on it that it has now. It'll do like completely circles in the air and get you. Like it's not bad by any means. So.
What were you gonna throw in there, Mepoc?
I don't even remember now.
It's okay. It's all right. Go on.
We're good. It'll come back to me in a second.
It's okay.
For our light subclasses, I'll be honest, they need an overhaul.
Yeah.
See, that was gonna get to that. That's now I remember now. Like instead of nerfing stasis, we need to start focusing more on the light now.
Yes.
I think we can leave stasis alone for a little bit if you want to look at the Warlock, fine. But I think they should leave that alone now. They've nerfed it, and start looking at the light subclasses. Because I've been exclusively playing stasis for the past 4 months now.
Basically, yeah.
Like I played, I got to the point where I was like, all right, well, everyone's playing stasis, so I guess I'll just play stasis.
Also, get on the train, right?
That's right. I'll just join the cult and one of us and
embrace
one
the
of
darkness.
us and embrace it. That's right. So and I've gone back, a little bit on Titan to play some of the my top tree Titan there. That was my main there, and it's I like having more grenades, but I still feel at a disadvantage when I see, a Titan super coming and I've got my super activated. I'm like, well, I'm gonna freeze and die. Here we go.
Yeah,
I freeze and die. So
it's kind of like you can almost telegraph your deaths with some instances with stasis.
Yes, there's nothing you can do to counteract. When you're going super and super, like there's nothing you can do when you're going against the darkness subclass. They're gonna freeze and you're gonna die. That needs to be looked at. Like what I don't know what can be done. I know it's like when you get frozen, you break out a little quicker, but it's still you're frozen, you're dead. You're sitting duck for a second, and you're done. So, at the same time, like there's like maybe I've heard people say maybe Solar should do maybe a little extra damage. Like how if you match subclasses, you get a little extra damage. Maybe Solar does a little bit more damage to the stasis just because it's fire and ice kind of deal. So.
Yeah, I think Iron Man said it before. That's what I was just about to say, dude. You've said it before. Rock paper scissors, and I like that idea. It's it gives you a little bit of going into a match like pre-planning on like, hey, like I'm ready if they got an arc, or I'm ready if they got a solar, like I got the water for it, or whatever the case may be. I think they should also go back to locking classes. Before trials, I don't know, I'm kind of just going into this. I think locking classes and loadouts before trials like they were doing before, that needs to go back to how it was. But I think planning and going in with what you have and having to adapt and in the face of adversity, still utilize what you have, even though if the other team is completely countering you. Hey, that's part of the risk of playing the playlist. Some people might not like that, but hey, if we're gonna go to a rock paper scissor shootout with subclasses, I think you kind of gotta lock that kind of those kind of activities. I wanna go around with everybody and give me your final thoughts on either the TWAB today and then the future TWABs on what they could do to keep us still involved in the game. I want to start with you, bud. Either on today's TWAB or something in the future. Is there anything that you feel that they can continue to do or change?
Main thing, I think, if I'm just going to have one final motion here, is they just need to be a little more respectful towards players' time. Increase drop rates on stuff, double rewards, and then, or for double reward nightfalls, maybe quadruple on platinum, like make it like extra enticing to just go do stuff. Even if it means, playing Proving Grounds on Nightfall weeks and Grandmasters, but
Mhm.
just, increase drop rates, make it to where, like, even doing a normal strike, you're not getting like 4 blues and maybe a purple, maybe a legendary. Like, at least a 50-50 split there would be nice.
I agree. I think that would be. It would show them that they are listening, because a lot of people feel like they're being disrespected at times, especially in the playlist that I'm playing in Trials.
Yeah.
They equate generosity with a negative, and people that are spending 4 hours just to get 3 wins, and then they walk away with 2 fucking tokens. It's a slap in the damn face. So
It really is.
I fully agree with you on that, G, in terms of being cognizant, reward players for their time, and stop insulting us for for stuff like that. Metpock, how about you, buddy? Today's TWAB, future TWABs, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I of course, future TWABs, I want to see those sandbox changes. They say they're going to show them. I want to see them, of course. As far as today, I want to see how the bounties look. I want to see how everything plays out in the Guardian game. See for round 2, see if it's not a meme fest like it was last year, like a pathetic event that it was. So. We'll see. I also, one thing I want to hope for next season is just more rewards, man. More rewards and trials. Like, get me in there, get the anti-cheat going. I know they've talked about that. I don't know when that's coming, but can we please get that going so I can go in trials and not jump off the fucking map every day and and not have to log into an Xbox and cap myself at 30 frames. So I want to, and more reward incentive, and I go into Gambit and I'm trying to get bottom dollar, and they say they increase the reward, percentage.
The drop rate,
Sure, okay.
Yeah, it's like 1%. Like people can barely see it in it.
I went and did the bounty for all, or the bounty for all 3. And I got 1 drop, and it was garbage. So
exactly.
So more rewards, man. Just give us more rewards, and I'll play more. I promise.
Generosity is the key, and you've echoed it. People have been echoing it. Even we were echoing it when Leno was still covering this game. And generosity is not the enemy here. It is not the enemy.
That's right.
McStabby, what about you, bud? TWAB Rise, or final thoughts? Where are you at right now? After maybe even going into Guardian Games, or what you're wanting out of the next 3 weeks, TWAB wise, to kind of keep consumer confidence up?
Guardian Games, the playlist was definite step in the right direction. I just need to see how they handle the bounties and everything, because if we get a repeat of Hunter Void Week, Smoke Melees, it's going to turn everybody that's a hunter off, and they're just going to throw it down and go, nope. I would like to see, I want to see those new Iron Banner guns, because I really want to know what kind of rolls they can get, because some of the Iron Banner rolls, depending on what that shotgun can get, that'll be...
Could be something exciting about. No, you're right.
I'm also hoping maybe a little bit of love for our light subclasses.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of love.
We're ready for it.
But I'll be honest, I really hope they do have plans for a complete overhaul of the light subclass system, because the stasis system,
it's fun.
that looks nice.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It's great. You can build appropriately. Why are we not doing this for the light side?
I go back to my light subclass and I feel awkward sometimes, and I shouldn't, because that's what we started with. It should be like going back home, but right now it's like going back to like an old apartment. You really are happy you left.
A shittier apartment. That's right.
I feel like I just went back like 5 years every time I play a light subclass. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy cheesing with fusion grenades with Heart of Inmost Light on my Titan. Don't get me wrong. That's great. Watching a Bastion guy slide onto a active fusion nade and dying to lose round 5 of Trials for win 7. That was fantastic.
Yeah, nightmarish.
But no, the light subclasses just need to be in the same similar system as the stasis.
Agreed.
We need to have somebody that we're going to pick stuff up every week for using light subclasses and just building them up.
I don't expect them to say, hey, this is what we're doing. But, you know, it'd be nice if going into next season, they'd be like, hey, those light subclasses, we started them. We're not ready to tell you what we've done, but we've got our hands deep in the mud trying to bring them up to today's standards of subclass changes like they did with Stasis. So, I feel like it's reaching for the stars to get answers like that with next week or with even before, you know, not Beyond Light, Witch Queen comes out.
Witch Queen?
Yeah, I would like to have some information, but they'll probably hold it close until they're nice and ready.
All we need is just a hint of, hey, we're looking at light. Don't worry.
Exactly.
That's all we need.
Exactly. Just that little nudge.
Give me a taste.
Yeah. T-Bone, what about you, buddy? TWAB, either today, future, final thoughts. What are you wanting? What are you hoping? What is keeping your confidence higher? What can they do to keep it that much more?
I would say that this TWAB was okay. I would just say going forward, transparency is always good, and it just reinsures your core base for the future. So that's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Heartless, you're right. They have said they're looking at him, but I want more than just like, hey, we're past looking at it. Now we're working. Like, we're actually in the middle of it. We're behind the scenes. We're getting ready. We're excited to talk about it. We need a little bit more of just like, hey, those things over there, we know that they're bad. Like, that's basically all. They just acknowledge that they were bad in a lighthearted way, minus a few of them on the Warlock, Dawn Blade, and Chaos Reach. I agree. But yeah, T-Bone, is that it? Is there anything else that keeps you logging in? You there, T-Bone? Did we lose him?
No,
sorry.
No, I'm like in it. I was like in an Iron Banner match.
It's okay.
No, I just like coming in here to hang out. It's nice being on like a like PvP podcasts, but yeah, like what I've seen is with this TWAB is okay. I would just agree with you. Just like give us like a. We all probably think that they are working on this, but just saying, hey, we have this plan, like in like maybe not right now, maybe like in 3-4 months, kind of like how they announced like, hey, we're announcing that Vault Glass is gonna come out like last year they said that and said like, hey, we have this planned out sometime next year. So if they could do something like that and just say like, hey, we can't give you a date, but just we're working on this, and like, so don't freak out. So yeah.
Exactly. Seth, what about you, man? Is there hope for Destiny? Is there?
For sure. I think that the fact that they're addressing those sandbox changes, I know we want to see more. Obviously, this 12 was going to be focused on Guardian games, but the fact that they are at least trying to listen to the community and make changes to the sandbox, that's a major step in the right direction.
Agreed.
We all have issues with the way, even down to like the Guardian games, the way they do like the bounty systems and things like that. I think Destiny's kind of just stuck in their ways on a lot of that. Bungie wants to do it that way. We can hope for changes, and maybe those come later on with different expansions, but the sandbox changes are good. You guys are absolutely right. We need to see the light subclasses see some buffs or some balancing to bring them into a line, with the darkness. And I mean, other than that, TWAB wasn't bad. We knew it was going to be Guardian games heavy, but
yeah, it was nice to take away some positives from the event, even though we've been basically memeing on it the entire episode. Some cool parts of it. Getting to play with your own class, hunters and titans and warlocks. Like, I think that's great. Negative modifiers kind of suck. The platinum reward card taken into a playlist that you want to play, so you're not forced to play Guardian game stuff is another positive. So hey, we'll keep our heads above water and hope something's in the pipeline, and hopefully this time next week we're talking about a little bit something that involves Sandbox, or maybe a little bit of preview into next season. Transmog is definitely around the corner. VOG info, just as Krebsy's saying, there's a lot of stuff that they haven't mentioned yet that they're probably going to want to give a little teaser out to the community through this information.
Yep.
So again, another successful TWAB, guys. I can't thank y'all enough for being here. I'm gonna switch y'all back to audience just so I can close out. I can't thank y'all enough for being a part of this stream today, and this is something that y'all are interested in. Y'all want to be a part of the conversation. By all means, please jump into the Discord, get into this channel, and I'll drag you into the channel if I have to. I want to get your thoughts on the TWAB. I want to get you to kind of open up to what you're feeling about the game right now. I got initiated into this group by doing call-ins with Lono, and I kind of wanted to get back to that in some sort of way. You can't really do that with PvP stuff, but you can do that when you're talking about the TWAB, because the TWAB is where most of us that play this game have our, moments of clarity. We're like, what are they thinking? Or this is great. And this is where it gets our emotions going. It gets us talking about it a little bit, and it gets us involved as well. So big thank you to those guys for jumping in, and it's an open invitation for anybody in the future. If you're a part of this community, or maybe you just want to get a part of this community, I'll welcome you in to get a crash course and kind of jump in and say how you're feeling. I'm going to give you guys a link to where we're going, because 30 is just about to have Generation X Gaming that he does every Thursday. I love to jump in and be a part of that conversation as well, of what they're talking about. But I really appreciate all you guys for being a part of the show today. I appreciate Matt Pack, G147, T-Bone, and Iron Man, of course, for being a part of that, being a part of the stream today. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this community. So again, the link is in chat of where we'll be going. Another part of this SNTR network, Generation X Gaming 30's podcast, where they talk about gaming news and they rant along the way. I kind of like saying that to be a part of it as well. So go check them out. I appreciate y'all coming out here today. Leave in the comments if there's something in the TWAB that either I missed personally, or your views on what you thought. Maybe you didn't get to call in today and you're watching after the fact. Let me know in the comments about what you think about the Guardian games and future TWABs, Sandbox, going into the next season. We're right around the corner. We'll be back here tomorrow. Big Trials Day tomorrow. I'll be streaming extra long tomorrow for some Trials play. I'm gonna see if I can get some people going. I want to get my first flawless out of the way, and if people need some help with that challenge, maybe I can throw my fingers on and help y'all out a little bit to get you guys completed with your seasonal challenge. So again, thank y'all so much. Use that link in chat to go jump to 30, where he's just about getting ready to start. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this. Maybe hit the join button if you're feeling fancy, want to be a part of this community, because you get perks. You get perks for being a member. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, and then we'll see y'all Saturday, of course, for halftime when we go over the map. So come hang out tomorrow as well for some cards, and we'll see you next time, Guardians. As always, stay flawless.